On, that means you have 10 seconds to end your comments. And when the red light comes on, that means you should stop your comments. Now, if you're in the middle of a sentence, go ahead and finish that sentence. You don't have to stop with that word. Go ahead and complete it. But that's telling you that your time is up. So we're going to give each one of the candidates a 3-minute opening. Then we will pose some questions to them that have been provided by the Compton NAACP and Concerned Citizens of Compton, who are putting on this great event. And then we'll give you an opportunity to give you a closing statement to the public through social media as well as the public that's here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to, again, give you the opportunity to give your opening statement, and you can use this as an opportunity to introduce yourself to the public. So let's begin first with candidate Andre Spicer.
Thank you, Judge Fowler. My name is Andre Spicer, candidate for mayor. I'm also the District 2 council person and also serve as the mayor pro tem here in the city of Compton. I'm also the only person in this side of the Mississippi to ever overturn an election due to voter fraud. So I'm actually pretty proud about that. Since I've been in office, we've been able to address a few public safety issues, one being street takeovers. We've been able to implement rubber medians that completely reduce the street takeovers. We also address the illegal dispensaries. Since I've been in office, we've been able to shut down roughly about 90% of the illegal dispensaries, which awarded the city about $188 million in judgment. We haven't collected $188 million just yet, but it has been awarded to us in the city of Compton. Also, I've been able to feed 15,000 families. We've been able to help expunge 600 residents from their felonies and their misdemeanors. We've been able to, we've been able to provide toys for over 4,000 families in the city of Compton. We've been able to address a lot of our public safety issues through addressing residents directly with their issues. I'm the candidate for mayor. My platform is public safety, economic development, housing, and culture. I have stats in all of those departments. It's been my platform since being District 2 council person. I can talk about the stats that we've accomplished since being in District 2. But that is my intro. I've been trained in the last forum. We only had 60 seconds, so my answers are coming quick. All right, so thank you.
Thank you. And the second candidate we're allowed to introduce himself is Bishop Leroy Guillory. Candidate Guillory, go right ahead.
Thank you. Hello everyone, my name is Bishop Leroy Guillory. I was born at Billings Valley Hospital right here in the city of Compton, educated right here in the city of Compton. And I'm running for mayor because we have a systemic financial problem. And many of the residents have no idea what the property owners are going through when we get our tax bills. So many of you who paid your taxes last year, you looked at your tax bill and you see that it's ever increasing. Now, people talk about the bonds, but I want to talk about the 1947 tax levy that goes on our bonds, that goes on our taxes to pay the pension for our employees. Only 12 cities in the whole entire state put the tax burden on the property owners to pay the pension from their employees. Now think about that for a minute. 12 in the whole entire state. So I know grandmothers, grandfathers, veterans that have to go and get a second or do a reverse mortgage to pay their taxes. I'm talking about so significant that many of the kids have no idea that their parents are going through this situation. Now we talk about public safety. I was the chairman of public safety. I was the chairman of public safety when we had street takeovers, when we had people doing lewd, lascivious acts. And even though the state of California said that prostitutes, they're the victim. And the child, those were human traffickers. I said specifically to our board and make recommendations, you might be a victim, but if you're doing lewd and lascivious acts, if you're walking naked down the street, you could be arrested. If you're doing drugs in the car in front of the school, you need to be arrested. Now, I'm the one that's tough on crime. I'm the one that fight. but I'm fighting for you. And I'm asking for your vote if you want to continue that. There are people that are playing with this. We are right now on the verge of going to receivership. We're not meeting the benchmarks that the state said that we needed to do. And for those that live through the school district going into receivership and the college, when they gave it back to us, it was just a skull. It was just, everything was gone. They have sold the buses from the school district. They had taken our bond and gave it to El Camino from the college. And I'm telling you that the city is in a grave situation. And more apparently, when you're on a plane and they say the oxygen mask drop, we got to put the mask on ourselves. God bless you. My name is Leroy Gilbert.
Thank you. And the third candidate that I want to introduce is Emma Sharif. Emma Sharif, would you like to give your opening statement this time?
Yes, and I would like to sit. If you don't mind.
That's fine.
Thank you. Good evening to all of you, and thank all of you for coming. My name is Emma Sharif, and I am a mayor of the city of Compton. Now, I am been in Compton for 30 plus years. I raised my children here. I'm a teacher. I'm a school board member, city council person, past, and now the mayor. And what I have a bachelor's degree in public, I have a bachelor's degree in political science and a master's in public administration. Cal State University, Minnesota graduate, a trouble. I dedicate for one thing that I do dedicate to this community's unification is to make sure that we're unified, because we have a lot of different people in our community that different ethnicities, and we need to make sure that we can be unified with all of those communities that's here in the city. And because with all of that, it takes all of us working together in order for us to make change in our community. Right now, one of the things that when I ran in 2021, I ran on infrastructure. And right now, I've been working on streets since I came here, came to the city. And we've invested over $50 million on street infrastructure program that's going on as we speak. And we also, economic development is really moving. We have completed 2 projects, one on 150 and 1950 North Central, there on 134th and Central. That project is completed. Another project that's been completed is right there at 250 South Central. Those are towns. Those are completed and sold. We also have another project right there on Dwight and Compton Boulevard, which is being done in different phases. The first phase of that project is being completed, and we are looking, and that has been sold out. And we now have 18 families that are already looking to that project. They still have 2 more phases of that to complete. So the things that you've asked us to do as a board and as a mayor, we were talking about the streets. Yes, the streets is being done. We talk about economic development. The economic development is also being done as well. So those are the things that I look at, because we looking at our city to make sure that we can develop in our city, but not only that, making sure that we're taking care of the infrastructure that has been a problem throughout for this community. So on that, I would like to say thank all of you again for coming out.
All right, thank you. And the fourth candidate that would like to make a statement is candidate Marlo Wilkerson. Go right ahead.
Thank you, sir. Those of you that don't know, my name is Marlo Wilkerson. I am a licensed realtor over 20-something years. I run several youth leaderships throughout other cities, and what I would like to see is for them to come here. I'm a Compton-born individual. I went to Longfellow Elementary, I went to Walton Junior High School, and I went to Compton High. I still stay here today. Now, by me being a realtor, I do have other properties. However, foundation is always going to be the foundation. What I would like to share with you guys is things that I would like to see right here in our city. I would like to see the infrastructure, the streets, the graffiti, the lights, the safety. I was talking to a fireman, and he exposed to me some of the things that they have to work through. How are we going to hold people accountable if they don't even have the things necessary to do their jobs? So it starts with all of us, every single one of us. We are all up here, we have spoken in unison for all day basically, and we're all saying we are going to be held accountable. However, we need the support of you as well. We want to make our city safe, functional, and we want to invite individuals in. I would love to see our city move closer to being a smart city, because smart cities are getting grants to be able to open and to function things. If we create a better infrastructure for the economy, we could also get more money in as revenue, also for our taxes. So as we go through this process, I also would like to share my 5-year plan. However, I'll save that for later. It's my rant.
Thank you. Okay, so first off, I want to apologize to those of you who are seated out in the audience. I'm going to sit here, my back is going to be to you. I don't mean any disrespect, but I just want to make sure that I'm able to address the candidates appropriately. And also, I need to be able to look with my peripheral vision and look at the time camera so we can make sure we keep them within the time limits as well. So I apologize for sitting with my back to those of you out in the audience. So we do have some excellent questions that have been put together by the Compton branch of the NAACP and Concerned Citizens of Compton. I'm going to invite the candidates to treat the questions as open-ended questions. The first question I'm going to ask, I want you to incorporate, hopefully in your response, something positive about the city of Compton. And that question is, how long have you lived in Compton? And we'll begin first with candidate Gilligan.
57 years. I was established in 1969. And so I was established in 1969, 57 years old, lifetime resident. I think the most positive thing that I can say about Compton is no matter where I visited in the world, whether it was Japan, China, or South Korea, when I said I was from Compton, they smiled. And so the culture that we have with this city is amazing.
Thank you. Candidate Sheree.
I'm going to be brief. I've been in, like I said, I've been here over 30 some odd years, 30 plus years. As a matter of fact, close to 38 in the city of Compton. And something that I can say great about the city of Compton is the people that live here. It's the people.
Thank you. Candidate Wilkerson.
50 long, wonderful years. 50 long, wonderful years. I'm in District 3, I grew up by the airport. And if I can speak freely with you guys, we had a lot of fun when I was younger. We had a lot of fun when I was younger. There was so much pride within our city. These are some of the things that I would love to see come back. Speaking to some of the youth in the city, most of them just don't care. They don't care, they don't tend to care, etc. And when I was coming up, we had so much pride within our city. We would go against Dominguez, we would go against Centennial, because I'm a tar babe to the heart, ladies and gentlemen. See hi if you're out there, represent. But what I absolutely loved about our city, because there was competition, but it was friendly, wonderful competition. I would love to see that come back. How do we do that? We need for things for our youth to do. I know when we didn't have nothing to do, we got in trouble. We broke Miss Johnson's window, throwing a baseball, we ran down the street, etc. So let's bring back some of that youth and that pride to our city that we all love.
All right, thank you. Okay, so the next question is, do you have I'm sorry.
Right. How long have I been in the city? It might not look like it, but it's been 44 years as of Wednesday. My birthday was Wednesday, thank you. My dad, my whole family's from Compton. Five generations here in the city of Compton. Thank you. My dad was Compton Police Department. He worked for the Compton PD. He retired in 1980. A great thing about the city is that it has so much potential. There's a lot of potential here in Compton. By definition, Compton is a suburb. We literally have everything that we need, from water wells to infrastructure to agriculture to the police station, the fire department. We have jails, we have court systems, we have everything that we absolutely need in the city to be considered a suburb. But the issue is our mentality has been a little less than suburbs. So no, it's supposed to be something positive, and the positive is the potential in the city of Compton, and that we are a suburb by definition. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, so the next question is, do you have a plan to deal with the homelessness issue? And we'll ask candidate Sharif to go first with that question.
Thank you, Judge Howard. When we speak in terms of the homeless, we have to think, look at it as there's a different phases of homelessness here in the city, not just on the city of Compton, but different phases of the city, of different phases of the different phases of homelessness. And it's very difficult with some to try to get them housed. The city of Compton right now has been working very closely with Hobbits so that we can make sure that we have someone that can help us address this issue. We've been working with Hobbits. And what Hobbits has done is that they have opened up two projects that's open up here, two housing projects. One over off the 91 freeway, which is permanent housing for 140 residents. And another one out there on Long Beach Boulevard on Temple. And even though we do not have any resources ourselves, but with us partnering with different people, different organizations in different companies, different cities, that's how we've been able to address the issue in the city of Compton. So that's how, because we need housing, and a lot of people I know say we don't need more housing, but we do need more housing and more property affordable housing in order for us to be able to address this issue when it comes to homeless. So that is the process that we're using at this moment, and I believe that, in my opinion, I know that we need to really address this issue quicker than later.
Thank you. Candidate Roberson, can you answer that question, please? Do you have a plan to address the homelessness issue?
Yes, thank you for this question.
I'm sorry?
I was just waiting to make sure it was okay to talk. Okay. Yes, I would love to address this question. By me being a licensed realtor, not only do I know investors, I also know some builders. And we've actually been approached by the city of Long Beach to partner with us to be able to purchase properties that the state can fund and get people into these homes. The biggest challenge was, where do they want them? Everyone wants the homeless off the streets, etc. I have the capabilities of making this happen. The biggest challenge is where you're going to put them. A lot of people don't want them coming through their neighborhoods and things of this nature, but it's almost like a system. How many of you guys remember the movie with Will Smith, where he was what was the movie called? Pursuit of Happiness, exactly. That type of system we can set up, and the state will actually fund, if not all of it, most of it. The biggest challenge was finding individuals that will either give the properties or let them lease them out themselves. So that's something that I directly in contact with, and that's how I want to address it.
All right, thank you. And we've been joined by fifth candidate. So candidate Omar Bradley, I'm giving you an opportunity to answer question one, which is how long have you been in Compton, and incorporate something positive about Compton. And then the second question is, do you have a plan to address the issue of homelessness? So candidate Bradley, go right ahead.
First, I'd like to apologize for my tardiness. My father's older brother is now suffering with Parkinson's and dementia, and we had to go home first. So I apologize for being late. I am a third generation Compton resident. and my grandfather was one of the first black business owners in the city of Compton. When it comes to homelessness, outside of looking at people, we have to look at the way the county looks at it. Because we have to pay attention to the effect that it has on our city. Case in point, they have a system of ranking between 1 and 8. 8 in homelessness is the most violent, or they may be a sex offender, or they may be on a particular type of drugs, and they have a propensity for recidivism, constantly going back and forth to jail. So if we are going to look at the homeless issue, we have to first determine as residents what type of homelessness we will allow as far as homes. We have to start doing case studies and understanding what it is that we're looking at. If we have a community of a bunch of single families, if we have a community where we have a bunch of latchkey kids. I was a latchkey kid. My parents went to work before I got to school, and I was at home before they got home. Then we have to look at what do we want? What type of environment do we want around our children? It is definitely a safety issue. Yes, we feel bad for people who are homeless. But when you are governing a city, you have to have the forethought and the forecast to say, hey, you know what? We need to know exactly who it is that we're allowing to stay in our city. In case in point, we've all seen the motel, which is right next to the 91 freeway, right next to the Carl's Jr. Well, initially, that place was supposed to have level 1 and level 2. People who were just simply homeless. But now they have higher level individuals going. And that Carl's Jr. stays open 24 hours a day. So in any community where it's ran effectively, they are going to look at, should we not allow this Carl's Jr. to stay open for 24 hours a day? Are we gonna have them closed at 9? So, you know, this is something that it's gonna take the entire community to look at. This is what we're going to need a public hearing about so we can determine what level we will allow, and come up with a plan from there. But we definitely have to look at it from a clinical standpoint as well as a human standpoint before making any decisions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Candidate Splasher, can you answer the question, please?
Just for clarity, can you repeat the question, please?
Do you have a plan to deal with the homelessness issue?
Okay, thank you. Yes, I do have a plan to deal with the homelessness issue. First, you have to address the homelessness issue like what it is. You can't just say homelessness. All right, there's several different types of homelessness. You have homeless veterans. You have mental health issues. You have people with drug abuse issues, foster youth, re-entry population, people that just might miss a paycheck and they're now living in their cars. Every one of those demographics have different needs. Those needs have to be addressed. In the city of Compton, I would love for us to make it illegal to live on the streets. How do we do that? Well, we need to have shelters. Problem is, everyone wants shelters, but no one wants it in their backyard. So you make it an investment opportunity for residents. We have so much vacant land in the city of Compton. If the city of Compton donated the land to a neighborhood per se, and we allow residents in that surrounding area to invest. Let's just say all the small boxes, what boxes are. I'm going to use this as an example. Boxes. They're like 20 by 20 feet wide. They have 9-foot tall ceilings. They're fully furnished. Pop them up in about 1 hour, and you have a small single apartment. They're $50,000 a piece. We allow everybody that could be affected by homelessness in that area to make that investment. As we stated before, the state has numerous funds to fund homeless projects. So you have those homeless projects be funded by the federal government. Now again, it's an investment for residents. Everyone can receive stipends or money for having these boxes. What we do for the residents that's there, we have wraparound services. AA classes, NA classes, job training, cryptocurrency, just so many different wraparound services that are available to these residents. In this program is my idea. It's a 2-year program. Every month they get a stipend, X amount of dollars. By the end of their 2-year stint there in that facility, they should have about $5,000 saved up. That $5,000 should get them into their first apartment, and then we'll bring in the next group of homeless, whoever that is, whether it be, again, vets, mental health, drug abusers, foster youth, re-entry, whatever that population is that we want to address. And we make that available to the residents of the city of Compton. So that's an investment opportunity, and that we all can benefit from. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Guillory, can you address that question?
Sure can. You know, the sick and the poor will always be with us. This community here was a community of pride. Both my parents were. We are watching the destruction that took place. They brought crack cocaine to our community. I hear people in the at the state assembly, the Senate talk about reparations for slavery. No one's talking about reparations for our family members that they induced crack cocaine in our community. Let's talk about homeless. When you look at these people that are homeless, whether they're in downtown LA, where they count them every year, and they just grow larger. Or you can look down on Compton Boulevard as you get into the 2nd district of the supervisorial district. These broken down mobile homes, motor homes. And if you ever go by there, they're complacent. They got the music, they got the barbecue pit, they have accepted their fate. Compton used to be a place of pride. I'm talking about from Sears with the biscuits and leather jackets, but people had pride. And these were working people. McDonnell Douglas, Hughes Aircraft, St. Francis Hospital, you know, working class people. And then CPS happened. You can't whoop your kids. Well, my mama beat the heck out of me. All right? There was 5 of us. And my mother always wanted to be able to know that her kids was going to be okay. So when she said when those lights hit, you bring them home. I didn't raise my children. I have 2 children. I raised them here in Compton. But I raised them with a work ethic. And it's sad that our grandparents, that they're raising their great-grandchildren. The people that you're talking about that are homeless, the working homeless, the students that's over there parking at Compton College, at Cal State Dominguez, parking in the parking lot with the security to drive by to make sure that they're safe, they're homeless. And they're working and they're going to school trying to live a better life for themselves. We got drug addicts that can't go to their house because they stole their grandmother's ring, because they touched Shay, because they did things. There's a reason why you're homeless. And if it's a psychosis, there's nothing no money to get thrown at it. Our federal government is investigating right now millions, hundreds of millions of dollars that went to these programs that are claiming to help people. They get all of the homeless people in them, and as soon as they get the information, they kick them out back to the streets. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Okay, thank you. All right, and this next question is somewhat related, and that is, do you have any plans to deal with the issue of immigration? And this is the question that came from our audience. So I'm going to ask first candidate Wilkerson. Can you answer that question, please? Do you have any plans to deal with the issue of immigration?
The issue of immigration, I think we need to just follow the rules and regulations that are set forth to be able to go through the process. Now, by me being a realtor, I also build and sell homes, etc. I am an individual that have a lot of people on my team. Putting them through the correct process and the paperwork. The biggest thing that I've come across is it takes years for this to take place. However, if we're going to be transparent through all of this, we need to make sure that we're doing it the correct way. Therefore, when something does come up and happen, you have all the necessary paperwork and you've gone through the structure properly. So even though I house some of these individuals and have given jobs, we still need to do things the correct way.
Thank you. Candidate Brad, can you answer that question, please? Do you have any plans to deal with the immigration, issue of immigration?
Absolutely. My bachelor's of science in criminal justice, they put an emphasis on due process under the law. We live in a country that has a constitution. If we just clean up our act in City Hall, within the city, and within our public services, we can do a lot from there. We, the residents, when we decide to run for office, and when we select someone to hold the chair in trust, take an oath for all of the residents of Compton, not just the Blacker, Idris, Elba residents of Compton, not just the Rock residents of Compton, all residents of Compton, no matter what shade we are to protect. So there are gaps where things kind of begin to fall apart. I spoke at the other candidates forum of tabletop exercises. I spoke at the other candidates forum of reliability exercises. There is a way that we could streamline things. If I'm not going to allow any organization to come into my charter city to take anyone, especially when we know that many of our Latino constituency have the same last name. Some of them have the same first name. And I can't trust you busting down the door into my community, taking someone because they have the same name. Show me the paperwork. See, this just reminds me too much of the 50s and 60s, where you could just take somebody at will, where you have poll taxes, where you charge people to vote, where you made people sign their name to vote to ensure that they can spell. So this is what I would do. I would create a point person with the sheriff to communicate with the council. And we want all of the paperwork before you go in and get somebody so that we can vet it. We know our people better than some stranger does. If you really think that you have somebody that's a criminal that you need to take out of the city of Compton, sure, we will help you. But give us the paperwork and let us see. If you have nothing to hide, let us see who it is that you're trying to take. And if you're not taking the right person, if you're not taking a criminal, good luck. Because we're not going to let them go. I come from a Compton where we didn't lock our doors. Our young people don't know that Compton. You could come inside if you want to. You'll find something out. And the only way we're going to get back to that is if we show. And I want to tell black people here something. Our godliness is tied to our equity.
All right, I'm going to ask you to conclude right there. with that
Okay.
question. Okay, Candidate Spicer, can you answer that question, please?
Sure. The answer to this is simple. It's partnered with organizations that can help the road to citizenship easier. We just have to streamline that process. There's already laws and ordinances in place as it relates to immigration. Our job is to make sure that we provide resources and opportunities for our residents. There's organizations like Church that helps with the legal and citizenship of immigrants. And immigrants, let's just say, to be clear, just not the Latinos. There's various immigrants here in the city of Compton and in the county of Los Angeles and the state of California. So again, for me, it's partnership with the organizations that are already doing the work and to streamline the process and make it easier for our residents. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Guillory, can you address that question, please?
I can. So, I want you to know that I'm full forward with my transparency on this issue. Number one, if we are a federally chartered city, we must follow the charter, but we also must follow federal laws. And no matter what you think when you become mayor, you don't make new laws. Okay, you make ordinances. And if a person is violating the laws, then that's what the federal government has to do. Now, when I go out of the country, I have to go through customs, I'm respectful. I give them my passport. They ask me questions. How long are you going to be there? How long? When are you coming? Where's your return ticket? And I show them and I leave. Now, we have had NAFTA. We've had workers coming over to the United States since Clinton, okay? We're in a situation now where we cannot afford to sustain all of the issues that are coming with the drugs into our city, okay? Many people got upset when I said that if you watch what's going on in our community, we have people buying $1.3, $1.4 million houses in the farms, okay? $1.3 million. When you go to the tax assessor and you look for the escrow, there's no escrow. This is a cash sale. There's not, you didn't even put insurance on this house. So yes, I am for immigration legally. I am not for illegal immigration. And when ICE came to Compton, they came and they arrested drug dealers, murderers. Now, I can't speak for what they're doing in other areas, but the federal government has a fiduciary responsibility to go after people that did not come into this country safely. If we want to be safe, then we must allow those individuals to do their jobs. I'm not telling them to go to a school and harass parents that pick up their children. Okay? And I don't have to disclose to anybody that I have Mexicans in my family. But I will say this, either you're law-abiding or you're not. And if you're going to move the lever for what we think is necessary, then understand that everybody's going to want that lever moved. I am for the appropriate agency to do its job. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Street, can you answer that question, please?
Thank you. I really don't think anyone can answer it, because let me say this, I have been in meetings with the attorneys that's explained to us about the different laws and how they work in regards to this. I have been in meetings with the consulate from Mexico telling us the same thing. And all seem as though it's coming down to one thing. We actually have the authority, we can put as many plans as we want to put in place, but how effective will those plans be when it comes down to addressing this issue? And because we do not get notifications when they come, we do not get us notifications about who they picking up. So we are really in the dark to some degree. The only way that we find ourselves out is when the family helps because again, I have been working with children for some years now. And that's another organization I work with because they do a lot of work when it comes to immigration laws. And so in working with them, I get notifications from them that they are here. But I don't know if the sheriff, our sheriff department does not tell us, give us notifications when ICE is here, and we don't know until they get here. That's when we find out. So it's not like we get all these notifications and we can do all these things and prepare for a lot of things. One of the things we have to do and we should do is continue to make sure that we're preparing the people here about their laws and what they can do and how to protect themselves when it comes to ICE. Because there are ways for them to protect themselves. The laws in the state of California and the state of the United States give them those laws. Those laws are granted when they come here. And so they can use those laws to protect themselves. But when you talk about putting a plan, my plan has always been to work with all the different organizations that actually can help us in regards to all these different issues that we have in our city. But right now, from what I'm looking at and what I'm being told, we have a limited amount, we are limited as to what we can do as a city. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, so the next question is, what is your position on marijuana dispensaries in Compton and why? And we'll begin first with candidate Brett.
I am 100% against marijuana in our community. And I can tell you why spiritually, but I'm going to be strategic here. The Compton Unified School District border is much bigger than the border of the city of Compton. And therefore, there is no way that you can have a weed dispensary that's not going to be next to a school. Our border is, the Compton Unified School District border laps over by bounds the city of Compton's borders. And then when you add the consolidation of the portions of Compton that have been removed by the County of Los Angeles, that means that you have to have more marijuana dispensaries in closer proximity because we have portions of the county like Rosewood and others where we couldn't put anything there because that land doesn't belong to us anymore. So why would we double and triple where we would put these weed dispensaries because we have less space and constrict ourselves because we have schools everywhere? We can't keep our children safe now. Why would we add marijuana to the mix? That's an unknown at this point. Now, if you could tell me that off the 91 freeway, where there are 13 million people that travel the 91 freeway, that you can get with a Dr. Dre, or you can get with a DJ Quick, or you could get with these rappers and say, okay, it's time for you to give something back to the community that you've taken from. We are going to take your names and we're going to put them on a building, and we're going to let people think that you're in those buildings because you're going to sell memorabilia there, and there'll be marijuana that is not distributed in Compton but distributed across California. Then the only way I would say okay to that is, since there are 4 districts in Compton and there are 4 quarters in the year, if the first quarter coincides with the first district and you're willing to hand the proceeds over to the first district, then I'll do it. If in the second quarter you're willing to hand over the proceeds to the second district, then I will do it. If the proceeds from the third quarter go to the third district, then I will do it. If the proceeds from the fourth district go to from the fourth quarter go to the fourth district, then I will do it, and I will call it reparations. For every dollar that you made, calling our black women something that they're not. For every dollar that was made, when you made music that people did drive-bys to, when you made music that, I'm sorry, pardon me.
Okay, question posed to candidate Spicer. What is your position on marijuana dispensaries in Compton and why?
Thank you, Judge Fowler. I don't have a position on marijuana. As you guys know, the city voted twice to not have marijuana dispensaries in the city of Compton. I've been instrumental on shutting down the illegal dispensaries. Since being in office, like I told you before my opening statement, we've shut down about 90% of the illegal dispensaries, and had the city awarded $188 million in judgments. I push that because that's what you guys want. I'm not pro or anti. It's whatever it is that the voters choose to do, and that's what I'll follow up with. And that's what happened when I first got in office. So that is my stance.
All right, thank you. Candidate Gilbert,
Yes.
let me answer that question, please.
Thank you, Judge Fowler. I'm going to tell you like this. I'm absolutely against it. Now, tomorrow, next year, a million years. I got to watch people in my neighborhood climb up telephone poles on BCP. I got to see crack take some of my favorite friends in school and make them walk up and down the streets. When the people voted here, 73% black mothers and grandmothers and uncles and aunties seen their kids on that mess. They said no. So let me say this. For whatever reason why people choose what they do, that's the reason why we all have different names up here and we're running for mayor. This city has more to offer this community than some marijuana. And I looked up and down the state after Virgil did his thing and talked about equity and weed, and they were gonna let the people that had gotten cases go and get over there. That bubble has popped already. Their dispensaries closed. There are people that put a lot of money in it, paying 100 times more for warehouses than they should have. And they're in over their heads. So let me say this. I know that we are hard-working people. If that's the only industry that we can offer to the community to take us out of the situation that we're in, then I have a problem with that. I think that we can offer our young people a greater surplus than marijuana. That's my position now, today, tomorrow, and forever. It doesn't matter who comes to the table with it. That's my position, and it's not going to change. And so I will end with this. When we ask ourselves what's wrong with us as a people, we got to look at what we stopped doing. Okay? And when we stop doing those things that our parents and our grandparents told us, then that's when we messed up. Talk about work ethic. I used to sell things for Judge Fowler's mother that she used to make. And she'd give me the money, all of it. And I said, well, wait a minute, I got to pay you. She said, no, I'm teaching you work ethic. We got to teach our grandkids and our grandchildren, and our children work ethic. And marijuana is not in it for me. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Candidate Chief, can you answer that question, please?
I sure can. Oh, yes. Yeah, I will. Not a lot. Thank you, three of them. We don't. Right. Please believe me. But this is your real. When two ballot measures was put on the ballot, I was the person that was sitting on the council, and I knew it was possibility I would run and not be elected again behind it. But I still stood with the community because I feel like the community knew what they wanted, and to me, I feel like it was the best choice that they could have made was to say no. Because they did not want marijuana in the city of Compton. And I stood with them then, I stand with them now, because I do not believe that this here whole thing about marijuana, I just feel is really opening a whole, something that we would not be able to handle here in the city, being honest with you. And so that's why I am not supporting it, that's why I am against it. And because I feel as though it's opened up another avenue for something else to happen as far as our kids are concerned. Our kids already are now having difficulties here with and everything. So I just need it's just something that and for me, for someone to offer me that as reparations, I take offense to that. I really do. I think that for you to offer me marijuana as a form of reparations after we have done all the work, after we have been slaves, and this is what you offer us as our reparations. For me, I feel offended by it.
Thank you. Candidate Wilson, can you answer that question, please?
Yes, sir, it's a clean sweep. Absolutely not. I don't need any more time.
All right, thank you. Okay, so the next question deals with the fact that we all know the 2028 Olympics are coming and they're approaching. So how do you envision the city of Compton participating and presenting itself to the international and local audience? And we'll ask candidate Spicer if you can answer that question first.
Thank you, Judge Fowler. As the 2028 Olympics approach, obviously it's a little too late for us as a city to be involved in the Olympics directly. So what we have to do is build something for people to come and actually witness and visit. I've talked a lot about us having a Compton Walk of Fame. I believe that Compton could be a destination location. I believe we need to celebrate the people that have had success in the city of Compton, not just celebrities, but people like yourself and your father. To just have stars and highlight those people and tell those stories. I think that the world, I've traveled the world, I've been to at least 40 countries, and everybody knows Compton. And everybody wants to celebrate Compton. We don't celebrate Compton. And I think that if we had a Walk of Fame in time for these Olympics, that would definitely draw people to come to the city of Compton. I believe we had museums that highlighted our contribution to history, to sports, to entertainment. I think people want to come and see that. We had a food festival with all the entrepreneurs that's come from our city that has restaurants, the Blue Kitchens, the Taco Mills, the Trap Kitchen, and various other food distributors. Highlighting those people, bringing attention to those small businesses, bringing attention to those people that are making marks in our city and celebrating them. I think that's what we can do for the Olympics. That is my answer. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Kennedy Guillory, can you answer the question about the 2028 Olympics and coming up, and how do you envision Compton participating or presenting itself to the international and local audiences?
So, absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. This city is not safe. And don't want to, I don't want to embarrass anybody, but when you have a city that is on the most dangerous cities of America's list, when they come to this country, they have areas that are red line, that they're going to tell us not to go to. They're going to tell the people it's not safe here. The Travel Bureau have us, and don't look surprised. I mean, we're going to put a commission together when you're not participating in the Olympics. You have nothing. Long Beach has something, Carson has something, Inglewood has something, Los Angeles has something. Those people are not going to come here, and you got street takeovers, home invasions, prostitutes walking down the street. It's not safe in this community. You got people here that call the sheriff so they don't show up. You're going to give us an international embarrassment by having somebody come down here and stumble up and something happens to them? That's not going to happen. And we need to get our head out of the air and realize this, okay? Years went into Inglewood building up its multiplex. Years went into Long Beach building up for its entertainment. They have the NASCAR over there. Compton does not have that. We already have a museum. We have the Tuskegee Aeronautical Museum. I get visitors from Germany and everywhere else. They stay in our hotel. Our hotel is an international hotel. But in that hotel, they also advise them, be careful. Don't go outside of this here, because you will not come back. Now, I just want to say this now. Listen, come on now. Let's not be crazy. You know that when we have relatives that come from out of town, and they want to go outside and walk around, you're the main ones running there coming, oh, don't go down there. Don't go down there. If we're going to be a community, we got to be honest with each other. This is not our time in 2028. We have not done the necessary steps and put something together in order for the international city to come in. We can support other cities, and we can, before 2026, put together something where they have a safe, a place to go and leave the city. But trust me, they're not going to come for towns. Maybe I'll get you to Lamar in the daytime. But I mean, we gotta be honest. This administration and previous ones didn't do what's necessary to put us on that list. Thank you. I digress.
Thank you. Kennedy Street, can you answer that question, please?
I disagree with him. I don't think this city is any dangerous than any other city. Now, you may think differently, but it's not. And I'm not going to sit here and tell the people in this community that this city is so dangerous that we cannot walk on our streets. Do we have issues? Yes, we do. Do lots of things have issues? Yes, they do. Will you, if you think the prostitutes walking down Long Beach going to keep the Olympics from coming? No, it's not. So let's be honest and put it state it as it is. No. What did not happen is that some things that should have been in place prior to now should have been in place in order for us to participate. However, we do have an opportunity to still participate in the Olympics in different ways. And those are the things that I have been working on, because I've been working with people from Paris that actually had the Olympics just last year. I've been working with people that's coming from Ghana that want to come and bring and do things here in the city. So those people are willing to come, and there was someone just at the last city council meeting, he's from Germany, just was here just to see Compton. So they want to see Compton, and I think that we can put some things together to make sure that they can come and have a great experience in our city.
All right, thank you. Kennedy Wilkerson, can you answer that question, please?
Absolutely, and I would love to. I agree with the mayor's rate. Not only are our streets not as dangerous as they used to be, we are making that turn. And in order to be able to start, we need to start somewhere. With the opportunity of it being here, we need to capitalize the best way we possibly can. One thing that we need to do, I traveled as an international director for an organization called Toastmasters. We went to Malaysia, where there's not a whole lot of violence and things of that nature. They also told us, when you go out this hotel, don't go that way. So no one wants the embarrassment, especially internationally level. However, there's things that we can do to make sure that we have things safe. For example, let's say we use Compton Boulevard. We have heavy forces visibly. We have police on bikes, also in cars. This will keep the crime rate down. Now, I do agree with some of the things that he was saying. However, in order to be able to get upward, we have to start from somewhere. And by this being an opportunity that we don't usually get, I think we should capitalize on it. So there's things in place that we need to do. However, to just completely back out, I was actually on some committees in Inglewood before the stadium was even built. So I do understand the process. This does take years to do. But we can make it to where people can come through our city because as Mayor mentioned, there are a lot of people in different countries that want to see Compton. I don't care what's going on, I want to see Compton. We have an international director comes on from Sri Lanka. He said, Marlon, take me to Compton. He was right there on Alameda at the Welcome Compton sign. And he took his pictures and he went home and he spoke of how the great time. So there's things in place. There are things in place, but to just ignore it or to not, I don't agree with that, but I do know that we need to make things safe. We do not want to be an international embarrassment.
Thank you. Kennedy Brad, can you answer that question, please?
Can you repeat it?
Yes. With the 2028 Olympics approaching, how do you envision the city of Compton participating and or presenting itself to the international and local audiences?
As I said before, there are 13 million people that travel up the 91 freeway. Everyone here over 30 years old knows who Eunice Williams was. One of the greatest presidents of Compton Community College, also an Olympian. Serena Williams is not considered the greatest female athlete of all time. She is considered the greatest athlete of all time. That is up there with Muhammad Ali. That is up there with Michael Jordan. That is up there with Tiger Woods. That is up there with Brady, Tom Brady. That is extraordinary. And the fact that she has an older sister who is just as good shows the excellence that comes out of Compton. We have an Olympic committee, and yet the people who should have been on this Olympic committee were the Olympians who I'm sure would have gladly come back to help Compton because everybody from Compton comes back to help Compton. If it were up to me, when you drive down Compton Boulevard, you would see on the light posts large pictures of every Olympian and pro athlete that has ever come out of Compton. So our children can see it. They need to see it. I don't play about how I feel about black excellence and brown pride. I met my wife in 1996. We have 4 daughters, all college graduates. My wife, college graduate. I have a Bachelor's of Science in Criminal Justice, a Master's of Public Administration with an emphasis in city governance, and I'm working on my professional doctorate in business. These are the things that our children need to see. That it is more than just gangster rap and Eazy-E. We have athletes, we have doctors, we have lawyers, and let me tell you something about these athletes. Many of them who still have contracts, especially with organizations like Spalding, they come with money from Spalding to build facilities for our children. And it costs nothing for us. It's a part of their contract. So yes, we have some cleaning up to do in our community. Yes, we have crime in our community. But forward thinking is what is required. Forward thinking for 2028.
All right, thank you. Okay, so again, I want to thank all the candidates for being here. I know it's been a long day for all 5 of you, and we've concluded with our questions that were presented to you. And so now we're going to invite you to give your closing statements. And as I indicated earlier, that this is your closing argument that you can make to this jury of electors, jury of voters, as to why should they elect you as the mayor of the great city of Compton. So we're going to give you 3 minutes each to make your closing argument, beginning first with candidate Bradley. Go right ahead.
Right now, America is at a crossroads. And we are seeing things that we never thought we'd see. Unfortunately, we are at war, and our gas prices are shooting through the roof. And at the same time, our water bill has gone up 3 cents. This is not the time to raise anything on our people. But Compton runs hand in hand, parallel to America. And for white people, America is the country that they love because it was what they believed they created. But for black people, we love America for the promise of what it can be. For all of us who fought, for those that died, for those who were part of the struggle. And it is the same love that my grandparents and many of you, your parents, when they left the South, or when they left the East, came to Los Angeles, came to Compton with a belief and a love in a community. Somewhere we took a wrong turn and we began to betray the vision that our parents set forth for the great city of Compton. We were never supposed to be the home of gangster rap. We were never supposed to be the home of calling black women out of their name. We are the home of hopes. We are the home of dreams. We are the home of the first black town to elect a female black mayor west of the Mississippi. We are Compton, we do it first. And so although I wanted to finish my doctorate of business before running, when my extended aunties called me and said, we are number 438 out of 438 cities, we are dead last. We may lose our charter. We know you want to finish school. It's time to come home now. But I want you to know I put my money where my mouth was for you. We cannot elect people who have the great idea to govern Compton, but don't know what to do. I can tell you right now that the problem with going to the moon is that you have to have double the fuel to get to the moon, and so to get there you got to double it again, and double it again, and double it again, and there's a formula for it, but that doesn't mean that you're going to need $2 trillion to go to the moon. You have to make a decision on who is prepared. This is the time to determine who we are and what we are doing as we move forward. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you. Candidate Wilkerson, would you like to give your closing summation at this time.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for this. Marlon Wilkerson, candidate for mayor 2026. What I would like to see is our city get back on track. This is a long road, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to happen overnight. And if you haven't heard as of yet, as a mayor, we are the ones that write the ordinance, etc. We are just a vote. With that being said, we need all of you to be able to hold us accountable. I have a 5-year plan to be able to fix the streets and things of that nature. Compton is not a broke city. We have the funds. We have to activate the funds and put them in the correct places to move forward. The infrastructure, the graffiti, the safety, all of these things are possible. However, we need to work as one unit to make that happen, ladies and gentlemen. We all have one vote. We move forward with a plan that's calculated, measurable, and things that we can be able to succeed. So, how do we do this? We follow the plan, we hold the city manager accountable, and also make sure that he has all the things necessary to make this work. We work together as a unit. Listen to understand. Don't listen to respond. And that would be my message.
All right, thank you. Candidate Shree, at this time, I'd like to give you a closing statement.
Thank you. Thank you, Judge Fowler. I'm going to be brief. When I came to this city in 2021, the biggest challenge that we was having was our street infrastructure. The community said we want our streets fixed. We invested the money and did just that. Streets are being repaired every day. We have another $50 million that we're investing into the street infrastructure now. We had $10 billion that we invested already. We're going to invest that. We are really serious about addressing the issues that you have asked us to do. You asked us for the streets. You asked us for economic development. The economic development is already happening as we speak. Do we have other issues? Yes, we do. We have issues here, and that's why I'm running again. It's because I want to come back and finish the work that we already started. The work that we started with the streets, the work that we started with economic development, the work that we started with trying to address the homeless, trying to address the homeless. All of these issues are things that we need to really work on. And that is why I'm running again, and that's why I'm asking for your support for this, for my re-election.
Thank you. Candidate Gillard, would you like to give a closing summation at this time?
Absolutely. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming. This is a no-brainer for me. Okay? This is what I do. I run multi-billion-dollar companies right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. I can jump in the seat and run this car. She's right, you only get one vote. But when you've been on the council for as long as she has, and been a mayor for as long as she has, she's shown you what she can do. We're running because we all believe that we can do this job too. Let me tell you what I want to do first. Number one, I want to repeal the tax to give you 25% back in your pocket. But you have to do it. I can't do it. My campaign is not about me, mine, and I. My campaign is about us, saving us. Just like when you're flying and the oxygen drops, they say put it on yourself first. These homeless people that you're talking about, they're gonna be us. Okay? We got people in here playing. This is my taxes that I paid for my properties in Compton. $222,859.91. This is just one property. One property. The $3,000 tax, 1,500 of it was for the pension. We gotta repeal that. We gotta save ourselves or we're gonna be homeless. When I told people that you can play dumb, but you can't play smart, this is not where you get to learn on the job. You should know how to do this. Most of the mayors, they used to have a full-time job. Now, let me say this, I'm not gonna take a check. But you ask yourself this question. Who would take a job for $600 a month for 4 years, to go to 4 council meetings, to be attacked every council meeting, for $600 a month. Oh, you get a $650 car stipend, which Jackie Lacey said you can't have. That's no money. People at McDonald's make more money than the mayor does. So for most people, ask yourself this question. If they're not making the money from their salary, where are they making the money from? Why are they doing this? And if you don't have a rocket scientist in there doing it, guess why you don't? $600. That's why I say keep that. I will do it one term, 4 years. Everybody that is stealing is going to jail. We're going to clear it up. We're going to make our police department accountable to the community. Yes, people are upset that I say, but I mean what I say. But if you want a chance for yourself to have a break, give yourself a break. Vote for Bishop Hillary. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Spicer, would you like to give your closing summation at this time?
Sure. Guys, again, my name is Andre Spicer. I am your District 2 council person currently. I do believe that it's time for a change. I believe Compton believes it's time for a change. I think that Compton's ready for a strong leader, visionary, a doer, someone that's relatable, someone that puts Compton first. I ask that you not judge me by my ideas, judge me by my actual accomplishments, things that I've actually done already being in office. And I'll go down that list just briefly real quick. We've already helped 600 people get expunged from their records. We helped 125 people get housed, 250 people get employed. We've secured $188 million in judgment from closing down dispensaries. We've addressed the street takeovers. I personally have given away 200 gallons of gas to our residents. I've helped feed 15,000 families. I've helped to provide toys for over 4,000 families. Implemented several different youth programs at Wilson Park and Leaders Park. Done several senior citizen outings as I take our seniors out to the movies. We provide them with popcorn and drinks and enjoy a movie. Help to revitalize 3 of our parks. These are just a few things I've got to mention in this brief 3 minutes of closing. Judge me off of the work that I've done. This is what I've done in District 2. My plan is to expand this and do it throughout the entire city. And not just these particular accomplishments, but some of the other ideas that I've brought to your attention. I got to be judged on the ideas, but judged on the accomplishments because that makes the ideas real. That means the ideas can actually happen. That actually concludes all of everything I want to say. Again, my name is Andre Spicer. I'm your council person for District 2, and I'm your mayor candidate 2026, and I ask for your vote. God bless you. Good night.
All right, thank you very much. So let's give all of the candidates a round of applause this time. And I'm going to ask Mr. Richard Earl, who's president of the Concerned Citizens and NAACP, to come up and give us closing remarks at this time. Richard Earl.
Mr. Earl, thank you. I want to thank you guys. Thank you for coming and giving to the people what they need to hear. It's up to you. It's up to you to vote. Vote for your choice. You've heard what they had to say. Now, go home and elaborate on it and see what you can do. It's good people up here. They all had good speeches. They all had the right thing to say. I want to welcome you. I want to thank you for coming to the home of the Concerned Citizens. All right. We have a meeting here in the next room every first and every third Saturday. Everybody is welcome. We don't have anybody who we turn away. You come in, you can speak your mind, and we'll listen to you. Tell us what you need. We're here to hear you. All right? I want to thank Judge Filer. I want to thank our audience. Thank you. One more hand for the delegate. And I want to invite you to go next door. We have some sandwiches and food that we want to get out of it. Okay. At the end of it all, can we get Mr. Bruce to come up and give us a prayer, Mr. Bruce.
And just as we get ready to leave, let's clear our minds, let's clear our hearts, and let's just give a closing prayer. Lord, we thank you yet again for this convening of the citizens of Compton. We're all here in the efforts of making our city better. We ask that you cover every home that's represented here, every thought that's talked about tonight. Let it generate in our minds and in our hearts. Lord, we ask you that you cover us as we leave this place, but not your presence. In Jesus' name, amen.